All right, so earlier I watched a movie called Something of a Monster, and this is a 2025 drama horror. Definitely more on the drama. And this is about a woman who is pregnant, and her husband finds something out, and this makes her go to the Catskills at this like inn up there, and she's gonna go try to get mentally well, I guess. I don't want to reveal quite yet, or maybe at all, really what's exactly going on with what they find out, because I didn't know that going in, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Um, and then, yeah, while she's there, there's a being, something out there in the woods lurking. Um, yeah, okay, so I'm definitely not recommending this to my audience for sure. I think that this movie might have its, every film has its audience, of course, but I liked this movie in concept. Like, I think there's good ideas going on in here. The execution definitely left something to be desired for me, for sure. I thought that the lead performance from the main actress here is quite good. So that was a bit of a bummer because obviously I didn't like the movie that much, but I didn't hate it either. I think that honestly, I do think that most of my audience will not like this movie like at all, and think I'm being maybe too generous to it. But I think there's cool things going on in here, um, but I don't think it comes together, and I also don't think the message is extremely clear. But I do like things about it. I do like it in ways, but yeah, it doesn't come together. So there's definitely storytelling issues for sure, messaging issues for sure, logical errors for sure. That kind of stuff. This is set in the 80s, so there's some things that you get to take away from doing that, like cell phones and whatever. Like, I don't know. That kind of stuff is what it is. But like, there's a couple scenes where you're just kind of like, what? Like, or like frustrated. And this is one of those movies where because you're not really liking it, you're not as willing to forgive those things. Like for instance, she sees something out in the woods, and it's clearly like a person that's in full like like winter gear, face covered, the whole thing, right? And she's like adamant. She's like, there's a woman out there. There's a woman out there. And it's like, there's no fucking way you could possibly tell what sex that person is. No way. And then the other person tries to come down and convince them that it wasn't a person, that it was a bear. And it's like, dude, she's like, no, it can play tricks on you, this and that. That's fine. I don't know. It was clearly a person. It's gaslighting, is what it is. But regardless, when she was like, it's a woman, I'm like, imagine seeing a person at a large distance in the dark at night. They're wearing like a parka, something over their face, big thick pants and everything, and somehow she's able to identify the sex of that person. Like, what, dude? No fucking way. There's no way you could tell. Regardless, as I said, these are like, that's like a nitpick. It is. But regardless, there's lots of those kinds of things that I was like, I don't know about that. That's kind of silly. And this is something that happens a lot, guys, and I just got to talk about it really quick. So I've noticed this in horror movies my entire life, and it's something that frustrates the fuck out of me. And this movie is a really bad offender of this thing. So like in movies are always like, the houses in movies or locations in movies are always conveniently soundproof or not soundproof, depending on what the script needs. And it drives me absolutely insane. There's a scene in the movie. I'm not going to say where it happens. I'm not going to say what exactly happens. But there's a scene in this movie where the antagonist is right outside of the door. They're trying to get in the room. We have multiple characters in the room. They're devising a plan to trick the person outside the door right there. They're 7 to 10 feet from the door. They are talking at full volume, devising a plan, like an elaborate ruse, if you will, that will trick this person that's right out there. Who the fuck would be like, hey, you know what we should do? We should do this thing. That will trick them. Then we'll go over here when they are tricked and run the other way. Like, and then they do it. And when they do it, there's no way that this would ever work ever for any reason. They're like, oh, we're going to do this thing. And then they do it. And there's no way that this person could possibly tell what they were doing outside of them yelling out what their plan was. But putting that aside, let's say we'll give the movie, the benefit of the doubt here and say that the fucking antagonist is deaf. I don't know. They're not, but whatever. Then they do their plan, and there's no way they could possibly know what was about to happen. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. So then they like run away to go do something, to get something, and it's like they couldn't have known they needed to get that thing because there's no way they could know what happened. I'm trying to remain vague. I'm sorry. It's a spoiler-free thing. I know I should probably just do spoilers because at this point, who cares? But like, I should just warn you guys. But regardless, you're just like, what the fuck is this logic? What is this logic? And there's just stuff like that throughout the movie, right? It just keeps kind of happening. And then, it's fine that other characters are kind of insufferable, like the husband and the family, and like the freak out that they have, and like the discussion that him and her have towards the end of the movie. You just want to punch the guy and break his face. And there's just so many moments like that. There's just so many moments like that, and just silly things to me where I'm just like, no, that wouldn't happen. And then some of the dialogue, some of the writing, it just doesn't come together. Like, so many things in this movie just don't work. But as I said, I think the framework of it, the ideas on that are here with the pregnancy and the villain, and how they kind of mirror each other in a way and complement one another, but not in a good way. I thought that was cool. I liked that idea. I was like, oh, okay, that could work. But the way this is presented, I don't know if this is. It's supposed to. It's definitely a movie for women, without question. Do I think a man could enjoy this? Sure, of course, But I definitely think this is much more aimed at women than men. And I don't think that's why I didn't like it, though, because I've definitely seen tons of movies that are for women that I've enjoyed. This ain't one of them. Plus, all the horror in this doesn't work at all. It is not thrilling or scary or any of those things. I don't know if it's attempting to be. Honestly, I don't think it really is. But regardless, it doesn't really work. And the wrap up and how all that goes down, no. It just didn't land for me. Like, it was trying to be emotional, and it was trying to have like this big, punch to it, and it's just no. So, yeah, I sat through it. I tried to be fair, but once again, I think the lead girl is good. I think the framework is good, but I don't think anything else works. So there you go. Something of a monster. Now I'm something of a monster, but I gotta be honest. All right, guys. That's that. See you in the next one. Adios.